jumping over to Paramount now, who I just dissed for getting rid of, All Rise. But I will say this, maybe that's on the CBS side of it, but on the Paramount Plus side of it, they are fucking kicking ass with some serious shows, and we all know where they're coming from, Taylor Sheridan. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're all fucking brilliant. The first one I want to talk about, and yay, if you didn't listen to us a couple weeks ago, we told you it did get renewed. Jeremy Renner is like, I guess he's got Logan's healing factor, and he's good to go. He's going to be all in again because we were worried that he might not be able to do the show. But Mayor of Kingstown did get reviewed. Let me say this. Hugh Dillon co-created it with Taylor Sheridan, and Hugh Dillon, if you don't know, was the sheriff on Yellowstone. Before he wasn't. Anyway, he co-created this show. If there was ever a show to remind you to stay on the path of straight and narrow and never want to fucking end up in prison, this is the show. This is the most realistic. This is the shit that happens when you go to jail and why you never fucking want to go there. Like, this shit's hardcore. It's basically about a guy that's the mayor, but he's not. The mayor, he's the fixer. He's the correlation between street and cell, and he spent time in prison, and he basically, how would you say, negotiates or keeps the peace between the streets and the prisons. And
yeah, he's the liaison.
Yeah.
He definitely, balances, like it's a give and take thing, and he's the one who orchestrates the give and take.
Yeah, but so this show, it's brilliant, right? Like, just it's all the portrayals, from the thugs and the drug dealers and the gangsters to the people in prison beating the shit and raping out of people, and the racism aspect of it, the Nazis, and like all the fucking shit. How corrupt the prison system is. Private companies don't give a fuck about these people. No, fuck rehab. Fuck them trying to rehabilitate and get back to society. It's all about the money. And they don't stray away from any of that shit. They are all in on showing you the stark reality of what it is like in the prison system and to be a convict in the current prison system. Highly recommend this show. It is very violent. Be aware of that. It's they don't sugarcoat shit. It's very violent, but if you want a really good, gritty, dark drama that highlights why you should be a good person, this is the show, Mayor of Kingstown.
Yes, for sure, man, for sure. And in the same vein, by the same creator, I really wish these two shows would do a crossover because I think it would just be absolutely brilliant.
Holy shit.
Yellowstone. But man, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. This past season, when Costner was doing all his bullshit, it wasn't my favorite. I feel like they definitely had to pivot from probably the original storyline and how they're navigating their characters and things like that. But still, like, Yellowstone is such a great series, and just everything that they brought forth with the family and how crazy this family is. Because like we were talking about with like One Tree Hill, the OC, right now we're in the day and age of television where families are fucked up. Okay, you have like Succession, you have Yellowstone, you have later on down the line of Fire Country, where like there's a crazy family dynamic, and like basically how do you navigate everybody's choices and decisions and how everybody affects everybody. It's a very interesting time in television when it comes to that family dynamic. But I absolutely love this show, and watching One Tree Hill, Casey's wife, the Native American, and she's on One Tree Hill. It's a very younger version of her. She's adorable, and right now she's actually like in high school. She was like this prim and proper like sophomore girl that used to date one of the main characters when they were seniors, but now she's like a college intern, and college has changed her. She's playing like this I don't want to call her a slut, but she's a giving person. She definitely likes to have her fun, let's put it that way. And it's definitely a complete 180 of what she plays on Yellowstone, but it's an amazing transformation. But this is such a great show because it really is modern day cowboys and Indians, trying to balance that back and forth. And I saw the trailer for the upcoming season, and it's getting back to its roots, it seems like, because they kind of got away from that storyline for a little bit, but now it seems like they're getting back to it. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and like so many oftentimes, and we've referenced it about a few other shows while we've been doing this, it's the good guy that lives long enough to become the villain. The family's crazy, but it's for the right reason. They truly believe in their heart of hearts that they are defending their land and defending America from not being overtaken by corporate greed, that we need our space, we need the wildlands, we need the habitats for the animals. And so in their heart of hearts, they wholeheartedly believe that they are doing right, that they are the heroes of the story, even though they're bringing people to the train station that you never see again. But they're the heroes of the story. So they also touch on the difficulty of family dynamic, an adopted kid who's sometimes gets called out about, you're not blood, get the fuck out of here, and how on the total flip side of that, with Rip, someone who's not blood but is considered more family than the adopted kid. Like, so they do a really good job of just like all of that. But it's, yeah, I mean, if ever there were a family dynamic, and that seems to be the theme of all these shows that we've been watching, about how at some point you're trying to do everything right in your life but somehow end up the bad guy, which is a very disturbing trend, but seems to be the thing on these shows. So, yeah, if you haven't checked this show out, and find it on a streamer, because they're showing it on CBS now because they don't have any shit to show, so they're going to bring that. You can't watch this on CBS. I don't even know how they're going to get a full hour out of it, even with commercials, because they're going to have to cut the ever-living shit out of this show to be able to show it on regular broadcast TV. So find it on a streamer. You want the real John Dutton. You don't want the edited John Dutton. You want that real shit. And trust me, you don't want to go to the train station. You want to know what I'm talking about? Just watch the show and you'll understand. You'll never fucking want to go to another train station ever again. Just, that's not a good place. It's not a good place. The next one, Taylor Sheridan. And holy shit, I jumped on this one. I was excited for this one. Huge Zoe Saldana fan. Obviously, Morgan Freeman, fucking Nicole Kidman. I'm like, how can you not be all in on this one? This is going to be fucking kicked out. This one called Jill Wagner. Oh my God, I love fucking Jill Wagner. She's just a gem. Special Ops Lioness. This is about a covert CIA team that's led by women. And that they basically go in and they do their shit. They do the shit that the regular military cannot do. They are not allowed to do. Quick response teams, which are basically the elite of the elite military people who also work for the CIA. And holy shit. This is a real thing, by the way. The Lioness program is a real thing. These people are fucking badass. And Zoe Saldana, she's been in so much great stuff. I've literally loved. This is by far, hands down, and I can say this, even Guardians of the Galaxy, all of it, my single favorite role she's ever done. This might be the best single performance I've ever seen her give. The raw range of emotion from badass, I'm going to literally kick your nuts off, slit your throat, cut your hair, fucking put the bullet through your head, kind of to the broken down, beaten, crying woman that wants desperately to be home with her daughter but can't be because she has to be where she's at. The loving wife that's struggling to be the loving wife and have a relationship with the husband because she can't tell him shit about where she's at or what she's doing. And he's forced to be the mom and the dad, and just the range of emotion that she conveys in this show. Unreal. And I feel like it really captures what somebody that must be in that role must really have to deal with on a daily basis. You know, you can't, how must it be to tell you can't say a fucking word to your kid about why you're never there? Why is mom missing everything? Why isn't she at my play? Why isn't she at the soccer game? I'm in a fucking car accident. Why can't she be there? Why does she only pop up, see dad for a day and is out of here again? Like, I can only even imagine what that fucking must be like, right? So this show captures it really, really well. But there was just this one scene where it just explains everything about the show. This guy like tried to date rape a chick, and the chick just happened to be their person. And they fucking hunt this guy down in the woods and stop him before he can successfully finish. And they take her out of there. And then home dude is grabbed by the team. These badass big hulking motherfuckers like grab this motherfucker. And Zoe Saldana's character's like, spread him. They spread this dude's fucking legs, and she just unfucking loads. Wham! And he's like, ah! And then she's like, wham! And fucking like it's like telling him this shit, and she says, goes through all this shit, and she basically says, if you say a fucking word to anybody, we will kill you. We will find you and kill you and your fucking family. And then she's like, we need DNA. And these guys just take out a fucking knife and pull up his hair and just fucking scalp him after his nuts are fucking kicked off. Like, and I was like, holy shit, what am I watching? I don't ever want to see her in person ever again. Like, it's just... Yeah, it's if you like military shit and you like realism and you're a fan of any of these actors, watch this fucking show because it's fucking brilliant. It's hardcore good, and you'll see basically everybody that you've seen in Yellowstone and Mayor of Kingstown and King of Tulsa, and like Taylor Sheridan is classic at putting them all in different shows. So yeah, the one guy that's on the special teams op, he's literally been in he was in King of Tulsa, he was in Yellowstone, he was in Mayor of Kingstown. You'll know him right away. You're like, fuck, that fucker's got in everything. He must have something on Taylor because he's in every fucking show. Like, that's all I'm saying. Right? But that's so good, hilarious. Man. So good.
Yes, another one that is so good is the definition of a redemption story. And I'm talking about Fire Country. If you have not checked this one out on CBS or Paramount Plus, please do yourself a favor and do so. It's definitely family aspect, like we were talking about earlier, but how I feel like Yellowstone and like Mayor of Kingstown does stuff to like get over on people. Fire Country does things for the best of intentions to, continue moving forward, respectable life, like all of these different things. But I just, to be someone who has messed up, as we all have, and to be able to see something like this portrayal in this show to where no matter how much you've messed up, you can still get back on the right path, especially if you have the assistance of your family. It may not necessarily be the whole extent of your family, but some people take longer than others to gain back that trust, and this shows that in this show. So I just, it's an amazing show. We cannot talk enough about it. We've had the amazing Katrina Reynolds and W. Trey Davis on the show.
Yes.
Both play pivotal roles in that one on ITCAFpodcast. So be sure to check out their interviews. But yeah, Fire Country is definitely, it was one that even when they started teasing it on social media, I was like, we have to watch that show.
For sure.
It looks so good. And it became one, like, it was my favorite freshman season that I've seen in a long time. So yeah, definitely check out Fire Country.
Oh, without doubt. Without doubt. Next one, Billions. You guys, if you follow me, I post about the shit all the time. This is epic level show. We're getting a little long-winded because we're passionate about these shows, but we got to start gunning through these. So I'm going to try to speed these things up a little bit. But Billions, classic good versus evil. Paul Giamatti, Damian Lewis, good versus bad. But where's the line? Because they're both good and bad. You got your sheriff, you got your convict, but who's who? Because at certain points, it melds. Corey Stoll most recently comes in, but now Damian's back. Axe is back. But this is basically a harsh look at the world of wealthy and how they operate and how they live and how some people don't like it and want to take it down and the fight to not have it taken down. It's just a really brilliantly written show that exposes all of us. It exposes the good and the bad inside all of us, and that I think it does a brilliant job of, and I'll leave it at this, really putting into your head that to make you realize we do all have it. We all have good and we all have a bad side, whether we want to admit it or not. And this show does a brilliant job of showing that and how to cope with it. Just Trust me, watch this show. Jump on it, watch Paul Giamatti. That's all you need to know. The guy's
Yeah,
fucking brilliant.
I just watched or I listened to a podcast with him on it on SmartList, and I didn't know his dad was the president of Yale. Like this motherfucker comes from a line of teachers, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna be an actor."
Yeah,
It's
and
fine.
Yale play. That's so funny because Yale plays a pivotal role in the series, and Giamatti at some point tries to teach when he gets disbarred, and it's just not happening. He just doesn't. It's
Yeah.
not his thing. So it's so funny that how, like I said, I feel like
They
so
probably
often,
did that on purpose.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I feel like so often these successful shows know how to bring real life into these characters, right? So yeah, just brilliant, man.
So good. The next one on Paramount Plus, the last one we'll be talking about with this one is Survivor. I mean, come on. I have never met fandom so hardcore than Survivor. Like they are something else, man. And I do not doubt all of these Survivor fans have applied to be on the show at least one time, because they would just want to experience it. You start to think about whether you can or can't do it, or like the social game, or all these different aspects. But it's definitely going to be very interesting because now that instead of being a 45-minute episodes, they're going to hour-and-a-half episodes just to get more in depth with each character and with each dynamic. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But we are huge fans of Survivor, so we had to put that on our list. I mean, come on, what, 42, 43 seasons?
Hell
It's
yeah.
so amazing.
Yeah, my boy Jeff Probst has single-handedly kept that shirt company in business. That's all I'm
Facts.
saying. Like just I want to see the house. If you guys don't know, we talk about it, we joke about it, but they only shoot in one location now because he loved the place so much. He literally built a house there, and that's where they shoot now. It's like, I'm not
Yeah.
leaving the fucking island anymore. We're coming and we're gonna shoot it all here now.
Yeah.
Like. So yeah, just a great. I'm pumped for the new season for sure. I just referenced it. It heavily plays into stuff that we're working on. It's Billions. I became a fan of Billions because of this show. I've already talked about it. I'm a political junkie and I'm a law junkie. And I'm like a money guy. I'm like always been obsessed with Wall Street and that type thing. Suits. Covers every aspect of what I'm addicted to. It's like, and it's a brilliant. Initially, the show captured me because it reminded me so much of, even though they're not related, it reminded me of me and my little brother. An older, like, I'm the wise guy and I can teach you everything, young man. Like, and here comes the young guy who's, ooh, teach me. And then I'm going to kind of surpass you and start teaching you some stuff, kind of a thing. It's that dynamic, set in the world of, high-end legal, in the world of finance. And, I don't know how to explain it. The relationships, the dynamic between everybody on this show, not just between Harvey and Mike, but between Donna and Harvey, and like, I don't know. You can't. We could spend literally the entire show talking about this show. All you need to know is what we've been telling you over the past couple of weeks about how it's absolutely dominating both Peacock and Netflix. It's that fucking good. That's all you need to know. Jump on that shit and watch it, and you will be addicted, and you'll just run with it. And you'll concur that we all need a Donna.
Always.
We all need a Donna. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.